2-2 World Series 2022 Game 5 tonight at 5:03 p.m. Pacific on Fox. Justin Verlander versus Zach Wheeler. That's the pitching matchup. Go and enjoy it. Go watch this game. There's a lot of sports happening today, but I highly encourage that you give baseball a watch. This is the one time of the year where the two best teams in the best league in the entire world for baseball are going head to head. So essentially, it's what? The best 20 players in the entire world? Please give it a watch. Last night, there was history for the second time ever in World Series history. A no-hitter. It was a combined pitching staff, collective no-hitter. Leading the way was Christian Javier, 9 strikeouts, 2 walks. And then Brian Abreu came in. And then Rafael Montero. Ryan Presley came in to seal the deal. We're going to quickly talk about Game 3 loss on Tuesday that Houston lost to the Phillies. That 7-0 bludgeonery by those 5 dingers, which coincidentally allowed to all those 7 runs off of Lance McCullers Jr. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I joined in. I started watching about the second inning, I think it was. So Marsh, Hoskins, and Harper at all hit home runs. And then just from then on, Houston didn't really have an answer. I think there's a lot of things we can take away from that game. Just the unfortunate amount of just poor pitches by Lance. There's some tipping involved as well that a lot of people have been talking about that perhaps it is very clear to see. I can kind of see how the hand glove up, he was way up here with the sliders, which the Bryce Harper and crew, all of the Phillies just homogenously took advantage of that. And there wasn't really anything that the Astros could to return the favor. They didn't have, there was nothing that they offered up there in Game 3. And I made a video about Game 3. I didn't upload it because it was too short and there was a whole lot going on around the sports world yesterday, I believe it was. So I decided to just combine it. That's why we're talking a little bit about Game 3. But I thought that the Astros were still going to win. I still think that they're going to win. Obviously, it's easy to see that. It's easy to think that way, especially after their performance last game. But I still felt that way when the Phillies beat them 7-0. And so are you going to pick? Are you going to decide after both of these teams, they trade lopsided performances? A lot of people are thinking, well, now the Astros are going to be on a hot streak. Now they can possibly close out those next 2 games. But the Phillies were in the same position in Game 3. So where's the accountability there? Let's just relax. Let's just look at this from a metric standpoint. Both teams are coming off of huge victories. There's going to be a lot of adjustments. We can get into all that, but I just want to quickly talk about Kyle Tucker, Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, Yordan Alvarez going 0 of 15 in Game 3. And then, conversely, the exact same thing happened last night with the top guns, Schwarber, Hoskins, Realmuto, Harper, and then Castellanos. They all went 0 for 16. So we're not going to see that in this Game 5 tonight. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a little bit more even. Maybe more runs collectively, but the disparity is not going to be there. Maybe one of the teams will get off to a hot start, 0-2, 0-3. But it's probably going to be like 4-3, 5-4, 5-3, something like that. So there's a lot of things that we can look at this from Game 4 now. It's like it's easy to see that, okay, well, Lance had a poor performance in Game 3, and Aaron Nola had a poor performance in Game 4. I don't think that's the case. I think there was a little bit of a hot streak that was just implemented from the bottom of the order. I mean, it would have been a lot worse if Aledmys Diaz even got a hit. Then we'd know, okay, actually, Aaron Nola's in trouble here. These guys at the bottom of the order are allowing the top to come in. All of those consecutive hits, just feeding off of that, it was almost like a similar situation where the dingers were coming in hot for the Phillies in Game 3. And now here we're seeing it. But Christian Javier had 9 strikeouts. 72% of his strikes were fastballs. And Aaron Nola didn't have a terrible game either. 48 strikes to 19 balls. I think he had command. His curveballs, 39%, 34% fastball. Perhaps that is where the disparity came from. He just wasn't feeling the same amount of energy and the same amount of control. We're going to throw some more curveballs at these guys. We're going to hold off on the fastball. but the Astros were just able to eat them up as they normally do. I mean, yeah, it's easy to see how the Astros are going to turn things around because once again, and I keep bringing this up, but Jordan Alvarez is in a slump. He had a hit by pitch RBI and he had a base hit to lead things off last game, but I just don't think that's enough. He's going to have to do a whole lot more. He doesn't have to hit 2 home runs and have 5 RBIs to get back into it. All he needs is at least like a 2 for 4 in this game, and then in game 6, 2 for 4, something like that. Just get on base and hopefully don't get plunked anymore. That one looked bad from Jose Alvarado. So let's all just kind of take a step back, look at this from now the starting pitching for game 4. Justin Verlander versus Zach Wheeler. People are going to hold back what Verlander has been through the World Series. 0 for 6. I think that we all should start off clean and simple. Obviously, there's some repetitive factors, habits that are coming into play when he performs like this in the World Series. Is it the end of the year? Is it he's just fatigued? Is the attrition wearing off? Maybe we're seeing this from other players that aren't having all this pressure. And of course, Father Time is a factor. So what can we deduce heading into game 5 tonight? Well, I don't think we're going to see Aledmys Diaz. We might see him or Mauricio Dubon, the combo in left field like we did last game. So it makes a little bit more sense. We want to free up that DH spot, but right now it's got to go to Jordan. Until they go back to Houston, maybe we throw Mancini in there. But in Philly, they're going to have to play one of those more capable outfielders. They're not going to throw in Mancini. They're not going to throw Alvarez in that position. It's not going to happen. And I also was thinking about just how difficult I can imagine it would be if I was a Astros fan in Philly at this game. Like you're in enemy territory here. You are almost guaranteeing yourself to be in sort of like not just hostile environment, but this is a whole nother level. Like this is harder than, well, I suppose a few years ago, if you were a Golden State Warriors fan, we can equate that to this. But being a Houston Astros fan at an away game during the World Series in Philly, whether you're from Philly or not, it's not even a stand up for what you believe in scenario. It's a whole different scenario here. That's what we're talking about. It's like high risk and no reward. There's no way. It's like you're putting your own personal safety into question here. So all of that being said, I think it's going to be a little bit more of a close game. The pitching will be a huge factor. Just like it was, I think the Astros are going to be coming off of that strength from their pitching, whether it's their bullpen, whether Verlander goes a little bit longer. I think everybody's a little bit due. Alex Bregman went 1 for 5 yesterday. With that hit by pitch, technically it doesn't count as an out, but 1 for 4. Jordan, a couple hits from Yuli, a couple hits from Pena. Dude, Pens has been huge, and so is Yuli in this series so far. Altuve's got to get going. He's batting under 160 in the postseason here. He's really got to get going because I think there's still so much more potential for Houston. That's why I'm picking them, because just Marsh, Castellanos, Hoskins, Schwarber, Harper, all these guys have been playing spectacular, but the series is 2-2. So you have to realize that, and their pitching, their bullpen has been outstanding. 22 scoreless innings leading into Game 4 yesterday. But the Astros have more to offer. I'll probably crank out another video today once everything is over. It's Super Week, one of the last guaranteed days. I really hope that on Sunday, a Game 7 of a World Series, that would be awesome. If you're a sports fan, you know what it's like. You know what it means. But today's the last guaranteed day of Super Week. So we got the World Series, Game 5. We got Houston. We've got the Phillies, Astros and Phillies. And then NFL Thursday Night Football. The Texans are hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. And then around the NHL, there's, I think, there's way more than that. There's a bunch of hockey. I don't really care. I probably won't watch any except for maybe the third period. I'll watch the Canucks Not sure who they're playing. I was gonna. No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna curse the Canucks. Please win. Please pull out a victory. Okay, please try. Just do your best. You're at home. You've had a few games to rest. I'm not gonna talk about hockey a little bit, or I'm not gonna talk about hockey. But tons of hockey going on today, and then basketball. Right, the fourth top North American professional sport league, the National Basketball Association. A couple games going on. Golden State and Denver are playing. They're not playing each other, but they're playing. So I might catch a little bit of that as well. So yeah, we're gonna definitely react to the World Series, Thursday Night Football. If there's enough to talk about, we're gonna take a look. We're gonna see.